go. So, anger requires confidence just as much as confidence requires anger. They literally go hand in hand. Hand in hand. And it needs to be talked about. So, why aren't we confident in the first place? So, we aren't confident because we ourselves recognize and believe you make this up, keyword, that you don't fit in, you aren't experienced, and you're new to something or someone or somewhere. And by evolution, this is very natural for us to want to fit in and want to be our best. Like, we need to be like socially accepted. It's very natural to feel that way. And as I'm talking about confidence in this video, I'm mainly saying like confidence in a social in the social context, like feeling confident socially. um but yeah, so like I said, we recognize and believe that, and we don't disregard that. So it's like you, by your own assumption and belief, make this a truth that you don't belong somewhere, or you're inadequate, and you pedestal someone as being over you, or you pedestal a group by being over you. It's just your innate desire to want to be accepted, right? So, firstly, you create your like discomfort of being unconfident, but I will say that you probably have good reason to, by evolution, right? So why do we stay this way? So we stay unconfident if there is a lack of support or compliments. There's only criticism. If nobody actively likes or loves who you are already, like if you have no friends already, it's gonna be hard to not feel like defeated by trying to get accepted by like new friends, kind of what I'm saying. Staying dependent or trauma bonded to people, being controlled, no freedom. This is a big one, like a lack of personal wins and a lack of personal accomplishments already. So it's kind of like if you're trying to um like go after a big goal and you haven't gone after a big goal ever before, then it's really easy to, it's like you have no self evidence that you're capable of something. That is really huge. So I always like to say, or if you've ever heard, like, oh, have little wins throughout the day. Like, always think or always remind yourself of the little wins that you have, so you can slowly but surely go after these big goals in your life that you have. It's really important to recognize your wins. Anyway. So we stay unconfident because of this stuff. And if we, and by the trauma too, like at what point and why at some point weren't we confident? So if we have memory recollect of being unconfident, and it was probably because we had belittling people, like people that belittled us in our life, told us we couldn't do it, the criticism, of course, and like overall bad social relationships could be a really big one. So it's like if we've always had bad social relationships, we don't have the confidence that we will ever have a good relationship with a different kind of good and better person for us. So it's all about what you've already been through, and that's why it's so important to like start fresh if you can. So anyway, next, how does our inconfidence make us feel? So firstly, and I say firstly because I'm about to introduce the two types of relationships, or the two, really, it's like a relationship, but it's also like a phase relationship. So first, emotions that we feel upon this would be like ashamed, hopeless, and maybe lastly, which is the transitional part, is nonchalant and numb to the feeling. So, and then second to that would be feeling bitter, feeling restless, the I don't care, which is like the nonchalant and numb part. And the last kind of emotion expected to feel is the willing to be extreme and act out. So this is like where you're changing your situation. You're fed up with feeling this way and you're ready to be extreme, which, by the way, rewiring your brain and changing your situation almost always, 100% I say, requires you to be extreme. It requires you to act out. If you want something to be different, if you want to be different, you're going to have to act out of your normal behavior, of course. So it's important that we remember kind of like the phase 1 feelings, and then we remember those phase 2 feelings. It's all like a transition, and it's always a transition, slowly but surely. So when we are unconfident and we stay unconfident, we stay in the phase 1 for a while, which is trying to please, fit in, and be accepted, which is very natural. We're still have this desire that we want to be a part of something or a part of someone, and we're trying to figure out the ways to do this. And if we don't ever like accomplish that, then we get those secondary feelings. So this is like the first relationship type that you have to like what you're trying to accomplish or what's making you unconfident. And then when this fails, which it will, and I'm going to go into that later, we enter the second relationship type. So the second relationship type has the secondary feelings that that I just explained. So the second relationship type, we enter this phase with the help of the secondary emotions, blah, 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 sorry. Bitter, restlessness, I don't care, and the willing to be extreme and act out. So this is the exciting part, okay? This is what excites me. So these emotions build up and will create anger, finally. So we've gotten to the angry point. So we've been going after a goal, we getting frustrated. It's not exactly that we give up, but we become angry, right? So anger has, so okay, anger. Let's kind of preface anger, what I mean. Like, anger has health effects. Your negative feelings about yourself that you've been having because you've been unconfident has been slowly eating away at you, literally eating away at your body, making you function in a weak state, literally. Anger shows itself as a defense and survival mechanism. It saves you and it chooses you. And it says, we can no longer live like this. Literally, anger shows up in your life and in your body when you will no longer stand for something. And anger shows up as you yourself saying, something needs to change, right? I'm done suffering. I'm done feeling sad. And I've cultivated this energy. Anger is an energy. I've cultivated all this energy, and now I'm ready to lash out. And I'm willing to do what it takes to change my situation. And I always love to say, and I always love to remind yourself, if you have a bad relationship with your anger, that nothing will ever love you like your anger does. No one, nothing. You know, like I said, like your anger chooses you. Every single time your anger comes up in the worst moments and gives you that adrenaline rush, and it gives you that energy, and it gives you this self-protection because it loves you like nothing else. And when it shows up in your life, you need to react to it, and it kind of like you need to accept it. Of course, I would say that to express it rather than to release it. That's a big one, and I might make a video about that we need to release our anger. Maybe not so express it, but maybe I can make a video explaining exactly what I mean by that. But have a good relationship with your anger because it loves you and it is there for a reason. You know, you wouldn't feel any certain way if it was bad and if it was wrong and if you weren't supposed to feel that way. You're always valid in your emotions. So accept this phase, right? Accept this second relationship type an attachment that you feel to whatever is making you feel unconfident. So anger shows up finally. So anger, yay. And like I said in the beginning, anger itself requires your confidence. Okay? Get this. So you need confidence to express your anger. You need confidence to let your anger show, to express your anger. So you're expressing anger right now, knowing that it may scare away this person, or you're expressing your anger knowing that it might permanently ban you from what you're trying to fit in with, a friendship group, a sports group, a certain environment, a job place that you're at. Knowing that it has consequences, but you're choosing to express your anger anyway, you're choosing yourself. That requires a whole heckin' lot of confidence. Okay? So finally, some sort of confidence in you has been released, but a lot of people don't exactly always recognize anger as that. They don't recognize anger as being confidence. Okay? So you have the confidence finally, with the help of your anger, that you can be yourself and that you can choose yourself. And by choosing yourself, you're by yourself, right? So kind of to go even further, I guess, even in an argument, so by anger, expressing anger is meaning you're choosing yourself. Realize this too. In an argument, the fact that there is an argument happening between two people means that both people in conflict have chosen themselves. They're communicating that their needs are more important, and they are willing to be by themselves. So that's every single time an argument happens, kind of low key. You might even disagree with what I'm saying. Oh, that's not what it means, that I'm not saying that my needs are more important. But in the moment, you sort of are. You are communicating that this is the way that you want things to be done. And an argument without compromise makes sure that all this stuff stays permanent between two conflicting individuals. An argument happens when people are communicating, I have needs, they are very important, and if they are not met, I am good being by myself. This is what the argument is communicating. And that's why it's really stressful when arguments happen in relationships, because subconsciously that the person is communicating this to you. Right? Okay, so anger shows up. You've had the confidence to express your anger, meaning that you have finally chosen yourself. There's a conflict and you've chosen yourself, and you've communicated that by your expression. So now you're in this secondary relationship attachment to what's making you feel unconfident. So now you have a relationship with yourself, and the situation or the someone, if they're planning to stick around, they will adapt and accept you. So I also want to bring this statement, that evolution is like a synonym for acceptance, if that makes any sense. To me, somebody evolving to you, or this situation evolving to you, that is it evolving to you. That is this person evolving to what you need from them, or the situation or the environment, and evolving to what you need from them, which is what needed to happen the entire time if you were to be accepted. I hope I'm making sense. So in the beginning, when you were unconfident, and you were trying so hard to fit in, it didn't work, because evolution doesn't happen through this negativity. Evolution happens when we go after the good things. We go after what is better, right? We're always getting better. We're always evolving. So The situation that someone would not change by your shyness and your timidness and your uncertainty that you had before. Like, know this. Like, nothing, no situation, no person, nothing is going to change for the better with you acting unconfident. Okay? So, evolution by acceptance, this will happen. Evolution will happen always when there's positivity, bravery, and courage. That's literally how we evolve. And like I said, evolution is a synonym for acceptance. That's literally how we accept things. We only accept the good subconsciously. That's just how it is. That's how everything is. We as humans, we as animals, we're always getting better. We're always evolving, right? So, what the kind of relationship that you had before, those first feelings weren't working for you. The feelings turned into the secondary feelings, the kind of the resentment, the willing to act out. Finally, you had anger. You had the confidence to express your anger, and your confidence required your anger. Confidence requires anger. Confidence requires you to finally feel fed up with the first feelings, the first kind of feelings that you had. Okay? So here's some conclusive thoughts. So the thesis: anger requires confidence. Confidence requires anger. You must get to this frustrated point. Like, here's some examples. Like, you're tired of being bad at math. You're tired of being shy on stage, right? You're tired of trying to please the person that you like. Tired of trying to please your partner. Like, if you're trying to please your partner, you've pedestaled your partner, right? You've like made your own bad situation that you've pedestaled somebody, okay? Tired of being nice to the shallow popular group that you're trying to fit in. Tired of censoring who you are for your fashion, the fashion you like, the music, the hobbies, etc. Like, really think, and I literally think this to myself, nice try to make me give a fuck. Really, like, what you think of me. Like, I think this like all day, every day. Nice try to make me give a fuck. Like, what, you trying to make me feel bad? You trying to make me feel like I need to act a certain way to fit in with you or to be cool? No. Like, if you, it kind of takes these secondary emotions and this secondary attachment. Like, please reach the secondary attachment to whatever's making you feel unconfident. Is it the workplace? Is it your partner? The relationship you're in? Is it the type of people you want to be friends with? Like, break your attachment to things, and then suddenly you'll feel free, and either the situation will adapt and evolve to accept you, or it won't, or you'll just branch off, and here you're detached. Your confidence is going to require some level of anger, some sort of fed up, some sort of I don't give a fuck, right? And if you're wondering why you aren't confident, it's probably because you haven't cultivated this emotion. And anger doesn't have to be like a bad, horrible thing. Anger is just something that chooses you when you don't choose yourself. It shows up when you're in your worst moment, and you just can't continue on like that. So think that, like, nice try for anything to make you feel unconfident. Like, be frustrated, be mad, because anger and your unconfidence will literally eat away at you, and you can't let it happen anymore. Like, please start cultivating your strong emotions into power. Cultivate your anger into confidence. Become confident at the workplace. Think like, I'm going to be who I am, right? And if that is not compatible, and if that doesn't turn into evolution in the workplace, then it's not for me, right? Be so confident. Always choose yourself. Always know that what you feel and what you believe, it's going to work out, and you're going to be in a place where it's going to work out. It's like literally as simple as that. You have to sort of be angry about these things. You have to be angry at the thought that someone wouldn't accept you, or that someone would try to put you down for what music you like, or that someone would try to put you down for what you want to wear. You would have to be angry. Like, you would have to be angry to think that you need to do all these things in order to be loved, when that's not the case. Like, be frustrated by that. And therefore, you're being frustrated, and you're unattached, and then you're confident. And then you're completely confident in yourself. Like, be up on that stage thinking, I don't give a fuck what any of these people think about me. I'm going to do my performance, and it's going to be great. And I like my performance. I believe in my talent. Right? I believe in my ability. You know? I just don't think that people know to cultivate this emotion into this power enough. And I think if they did, maybe it's like a maturity thing. But yeah, I love this. This was like a short video. I felt like, but I felt like it was going by so fast. But I feel so passionate about this, and I just really wanted to share this. Like, if anytime you're feeling unconfident, just get frustrated, get mad about it. Like, get frustrated at yourself. Like, why am I feeling like this? Okay, so be better. You have so much power. Use your emotions for power. Literally, emotions are power. Like, I should make videos saying like how to, so I've said like how to cultivate anger into confidence. Like, I should say like how to cultivate sadness into attraction. Yeah, emotions always turn into something good, and they're always there for you to, like, you need to accept it, and you need to have a good relationship with your emotions. Yeah, I hope you learned a little something. Hope this was like good and something you can take away. Yeah. Bye.